Morena Te whānau, welcome to your yoga class this morning. So this morning we're going to come over into a sequence that works on the left and right hand side of the body in fairly long periods of time. So just being really attuned to hearing where we're going to and how we're moving into each of these segments would be great. So come on over and land into your hands and your knees. And as part of this sequence, there's quite a few vinyasas that are offered. Vinyasas are quite an advanced move, and if for any reason you feel you would like to just push back into dog pose, feel free to. Please do drop your knees. But there's a couple things that we need to be really aware of, and that's stabilizing through the back of the shoulders and activating the triceps. Also keeping the chest lifted and moving forward and above the elbow creases, so not dropping down below the elbows in low plank. So let's see how we go with that. Come on into child's pose. Just allow the chest to lengthen towards the earth and feel the body starting to release. So you're in the infancy of your day, yogis. Let's just see if we can, even though we haven't moved perhaps a lot just yet, give yourself the opportunity to just lengthen through from the fingertips all the way through to your outer hips. And then just start to play with coming up onto the fingertips, feeling the pressure into the pads of the fingers, noticing how that lands through the joints of the hands. And then just coming back down, allowing the palms of the hands to lay onto the earth, and see if you can lift the fingers up off the mat so you can start to feel the fascia. And the palms of the hands lengthen just a little bit here. Come back into the fingers once again. And then palm of the hand down onto the earth, fingertips lifting. Feel the activity through the arms, the wrists. Come back into the fingertips once again. Notice how this is feeling as these keep you connected and grounded into the earth. Good, palms, fingertips lifting. And if you will, just bring the pelvis up a little bit here and tuck the toes if you would like to. And then walk your hands, head and arms off to the right side of the mat. Good, now just lower down a little bit here. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right knee. And then place the forehead down onto the earth, rest the head here and the neck, and bring your left hand into the nape of your neck. Good. And then use the pelvis as weight to take the back towards the heels so you feel the side ribs and the armpit and the upper arm, the tricep here, lengthen and open just a little. Just adjusting how much activity you need here by moving and shifting the pelvic bowl either forward to lessen or back to find a little bit more opening if you have that freedom there. Good. And then just releasing the left hand back down to the mat, bring the right hand to join the left, more back center. Just a little rock through the shoulders. I can feel a release on the left side. It's going to find the same on the right. So coming back up a little bit, lifting the pelvis, moving hands, arms, and head to the left side. And as and when you're ready, left hand, if you'd like to, if it's more comfortable, to the outer left knee. And then bringing the right hand into the nape of the neck, resting the head and the neck, shoulders should open up through the right side. Using the weight of the pelvis to give you that wonderful opening, or in fact to lessen, bringing the pelvis up a little higher. You'll figure this out. Just really starting to focus on feeling that wonderful length that lands through the armpit, the side ribs, and through the tricep. Good, releasing here. And then bring the left hand to join the right. Come on, back center. And just get nice and long. So reach the fingers as far forward as you can and take the pelvic bowl back. And then draw the shoulders down, so they're hugging down. You'll feel your hands move towards your shoulders as you do that. See if you can start to engage the rhomboids in between the shoulder blades and feel them activate and draw in. Alrighty, walk the hands back towards the knees. Then come on over onto the buttocks. We'll just open up through the side body, trying to open the lat that comes around the sides of the ribs up through the front and attaches into the shoulder here. Sometimes creates a little bit of contraction. So we're just trying to find as much opening so we can lift and open through our vinyasas this morning. Left hand, outer right knee, lift up into this and rotate to the back of the room. Good. Now from here, take the right hand to the sky, place it into the nape of the neck here, and then take your left shoulder down to your left knee. See if you can look up towards your right elbow. Keep the right outer hip nice and heavy. You may need to release your left hand to find a little bit more comfort and ease. Good. Come on back center. Come on up. Release the hand to the sky. Awesome. And then very gently twist back to the front of the mat. How are you doing? Let's go find the other side. Right hand, outer left knee, lifting up, rotating. Good. So allowing the body to figure out where we've transitioned to, find a place of ease. And then left hand stays where it is. Right hand comes up into the nape of the neck. Good. And then we're taking, left hand comes up into the nape of the neck, taking the right shoulder down towards your right knee and looking up. Release the left hand if you need to find a little bit more rotation or comfort. There you go. Just breathing space into the side body here. And then come on up with me. Release the left hand. Come back center. Cool. And then just walk the hands forward. As you press into the palms of the hands, press the sit bones back into the earth. And then just allow yourself to lengthen as far forward as is comfortable for you. Just stay here for another couple breaths before we start to move in our practice today. So take your time, and please know Vinyasas, 3 things. Stay higher if you're coming to low plank. Activate the triceps, an underactive muscle, the opposite muscle to the bicep. And that's going to help to support the back of the shoulders as well and give you the opportunity to not land into the front of your shoulder capsules. Keep the chest lifted and the vision forward of the mat. Let's go and see how we can make that look and feel. Come on over into your first downward facing dog. Get active through the hands. Alrighty. How does this feel for the first one this morning, perhaps? So just stabilizing. Good. Feeling the shoulders here. Now, as you press and squeeze into the hands, trying to squeeze them together, you'll notice a lot of activity in your upper arms. And that is really where we need to be focusing on today. You may even start to feel serratus around the upper ribs engaged here as well. And a lovely landing space, landing pad in the back of the body for the shoulder blades. Take the right leg to the sky, yogis, and bring the heel into the buttock. So not driving into the shoulders, just open up through the side body here once again. So the shoulder stays stable. We're just opening up through the length of the right side body. Good. Keep hugging the right armpit down. Cool. Stay for another breath in. And then just come back to dog pose. Walk the dog out if you need to here. We are just giving ourselves the opportunity to land. Settle. Let's go to the left side, left leg to the sky, heel into the buttock. Understanding that this is not about the shoulders, so we're not driving into the shoulders here, but we are opening up through the side body. Hug your left armpit down. Good. Left knee up and back. Finding the space through the body as we take another breath in. Good. 2 feet to the earth. Walk your feet towards the back of your hands and just come into ragdoll for a moment. Roll through the wrists. Notice how the palms of the hands and the fingertips are feeling. Let's go and find some sun salutations to warm our body up. Halfway lift. Feet to toes together, heels apart. Good, and then folding here as you exhale. Press down through the soles of the feet. Come on up to the sky to mountain pose. Good, and folding with me once again, yogis. Adho Uttanasana, halfway lift. Good. Come into plank pose, hold it here with me. Good, so from here, plugging into the hands, just opening up through the back of the shoulders. And then from here, just look forward over the mat and keep the chest nicely lifted. Beautiful. Can you from here, if you need to, drop the knees, and then coming all the way down to the mat. Feel the triceps. Good. Cobra pose, breathing in. Come back down to the mat as you exhale. Press back. Child's pose. The exhale takes us to dog pose. Good. Walking to the front of the mat, coming back into a halfway lift once again. Fold with me here. Into the sky. Reach through the fingertips, palms touching above the crown of the head, and then folding on the exhalation. Adho Uttanasana once again, halfway lift. Plank pose as you exhale. Take your time. There's lots of vinyasas coming. Drop the knees, and then come on down to the earth. Feel your triceps here. And as you come into cobra pose, feel the tops of the feet. Back down to the earth. Back into child's pose. And the out breath takes you to dog pose. Come back to the front of the mat any way you would like to. The third, Surya Namaskar. Good, fold. To the sky. Whoops, to the earth. Halfway here, belly's nice and engaged. Good, plank pose. Drop the knees, come down to the earth. Good, cobra. Back to the earth. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. Up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Just come meet me at the front of the mat, halfway lift. Alrighty, folding here. Utkatasana, come on up. Just checking in to make sure that you're feeling okay, the body's warmed a little bit here, the shoulders are feeling spacious, and that you know that you have a whole lot of spaces to move into in your vinyasas this morning. Good. Stay high. Breath in. Folding, exhaling. Halfway. Good. Find plank pose. Right knee, right tricep. And then take that to your right wrist. And then slip it back up to the tricep and take it back to plank pose. Left knee, left tricep. Good. Down to the wrist. Then back up to the tricep. Back into plank pose. Good. Stay here, breathing in. Come down to low plank. Keep the chin lifted. Good. Move through to up dog. And downward facing dog. Alrighty. Right leg to the sky. Heel into the buttock. Peel the hip open. Good. Nice long deep breath in. 2 feet to the earth. We're just going to do the other side. Breathe in, left leg goes long. The heel tucks into the buttock. And then we peel this hip open once again as well. Come back to dog pose. Come up onto the toes. Bend the knees, look forward. Meet me at the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Folding here. Good. Utkatasana. Come on up. This time float straight up onto the heels. Up onto the toes, lifting the heels. And we're staying here for 5. Good. For 4. All right, so you can keep the heels lifted a little longer. You've got 2 more to go. Breathe in. Exhale, roll through the soles of the feet. Come on into a forward fold. Halfway. Good. Through another vinyasa. Please remember you can drop your knees. Come on up. Cobra up dog. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Good, raise the right leg to the sky, bring the heel into the buttock, flip here if you would like to, or hold the space. So I'm going to stay here and hold it for those who want to be here. If you've taken flip dog, then open up the body, feel the extension through the spine and through the opening through the front of the heart center. Stay for another breath in. Good, exhale, come on back, plank pose. Side plank right hand into the earth, and the left hand to the sky. Good. Feel really connected through your hand, right side. Feel the strength and stability through the muscular body, right through to lifting up through the fingertips on the left side. Stay for another breath. 2 hands to the mat. Drop the knees here. Low plank. High plank. Good, don't go so low. Keep the chest lifted. High plank. Low plank or to the earth. Up dog or cobra. Good, downward facing dog on the exhalation. Take the right leg to the sky, yogis. Come meet me. And crescent lunge on the right side. Come on up. Good, bring the hands to the heart center. And then move forward 45 degrees. From here, revolve. Left elbow on the outside of the right knee. And see if you can start to hug your left rib cage to the inside of your right thigh. Good, lifting up into the right side of the body and then rotating. So if the vision allows you to look over the right shoulder, feel free to look up to the sky. If the vision needs to help with stability, with steady, then look down towards the toes. Good, stay for a nice long deep breath in. Come all the way around to warrior two. And then reverse the warrior. Good, you're moving through a vinyasa here. Come up, dog, cobra. And downward facing dog, exhale. Still staying on the right side, right leg to the sky. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Come on up. First one for the day. Warrior 2. Good, now we reverse. And land into extended side angle. Reach through the fingertips. And again, as we allow ourselves to place the right elbow on the right knee, try to avoid dropping down, crashing into that place. So using the left side of the body to lift up. Good. Check the outer back foot. You've got the outer edge connected. Helps to look after the inner knee on the left side. Beautiful warrior. From here, bring the left hand down and come into a bind if you'd like to. The bind is where you can stay. Those of you that would like to come to standing bird, you will look down and step the back foot forward. I'm going to stay here and hold space with those yogis who choose to stay with me. Good. And standing bird, extending your bound right leg to the sky. Bird pose, come on out on your next exhale. Land back into the spine with me here. Good, one more breath in. Come back into warrior two. Oh, reverse, I can feel the quadricep. And move through your vinyasa. Dog pose or cobra. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. Stay for a nice long deep breath in. And stay for a nice long deep breath out. Up onto the toes. Bend the knees, look forward. Float to the front of the mat. Come into a halfway lift. Fold with me here. Utkatasana. So we have the other side to go. Just resetting the body and the buttons here. Finding the breath. Feeling the heat through the body. And noticing if you need to make any kind of change to your decision-making process around your vinyasas. Good. Stay for another breath in. And then fold with me here. Ardha Uttanasana once again. And Chaturanga Dandasana. Stay higher, keep the chest lifted. Move through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Good. Left leg to the sky, heel into the buttock. Just peel the hip open. So we're preparing this to be a little bit more active as we move through our practice. 2 feet to the earth, right leg to the sky, heel into the buttock, peel the hip open. Good. Hug the right armpit down. Come back to 2 feet to the earth, up onto the toes, bend the knees, front of the mat. Halfway. Good, Uttanasana, folding. Utkatasana, coming back into chair pose, floating up onto the toes, heels are lifted for 5. Awesome, for 4. For 3. 2 more. Nice, long, deep breath in. Exhaling, fold. Ardha Uttanasana once again. Chaturanga Dandasana. Good. Up dog, cobra. Feel the triceps. Downward facing dog on the exhalation. Beautiful. Right leg to the sky. Left leg to the sky, sorry, heel into the buttock. Peel this open. Stay or flip. So I'm going to stay here and hold the space for us this morning. Once again. If you're in flip dog, come on back. Land with me into plank pose. Side plank, left. Ta-da! Good. Once again, as you feel the support through the left hand, lift up through the right side. Stay for another breath. 2 hands to the mat. Drop the knees or keep them lifted. It's up to you. Low plank. Good. High plank. Stay higher this time. Low plank. Good. High plank. Low plank or to the earth. Up dog. Bhujangasana, cobra. Or downward facing dog. Exhale. Left side. Left leg to the sky. Good. Crescent on the left side. Up out of the earth on the in-breath. Good. Warrior, hands to the heart center. Sorry, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Come on forward. Left elbow, left knee, right elbow, revolving. Good. Stay for another nice long deep breath in. Virabhadrasana 2 on the exhalation. Here we go. And reverse. You're moving through another vinyasa. Or come with me back into dog pose. Breathe in if you have moved through the vinyasa to up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog on the exhale. Left leg to the sky once again. Warrior 1 this time. Come on up. Good. Warrior 2, yogis. Come meet me there. And then from here, reverse the warrior. And we're landing into extended side angle. Good. Once again, lifting out of the crash that may land on the left side, up and to the right. Check the outer back foot. I just noticed that I was crashing into the instep. I've just moved that to the outer edge of my right foot. Bringing your right hand down behind. Could be just half a bind for you this morning. Left hand underneath. There's the full bind. And if you're taking standing bird, move the weight to the left side, step the right foot forward. Come on up. And then lifting the left leg to the sky. I'm going to stay in the bind this morning. Sometimes it's nice just to be a little less. And also just hold the space for others to stay. Of course, you could be still here. Support it a little more. Alrighty, standing birds as and when. Come on out and catch up with us. Take a breath in if you're with me here. Back into warrior 2. Whew. There you go, reverse the warrior. And then popping through another vinyasa or downward facing dog, which is where I will go to. Big breath in. Beautiful yogis. And a deep breath out. Ripple forward into plank pose. Right knee, right tricep. Take it to the left, right wrist. Bring it back up to the right tricep. Hold it here for 3. Good, for 2. One more breath in. Plank pose. Left knee, left tricep. Take it to the left wrist. Good, bring it back up to the left tricep. Hold it here for 3. For 2. Good, 2 feet. Press back into dog pose. Up onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward, float. Meet me at the front of the mat. Halfway is there. Bring the feet hip-width apart. Take your peace fingers and just wrap them around the inside of your big toes. Take a bend in the knees and also notice if your knees are rolling inward, and if they are, it's kind of like a very subtle external rotation. So you're just broadening the inner knees away from each other. So not rolling through the feet, but actually feeling them move apart. And then lengthen the sternum, fold forward into big toe pose. Pada Angustasana. Good. From here, notice if your ears are being kind of a little crushed by your shoulders. And if they are, draw the shoulders back down. Find some space for that lovely roll of the shoulders back and down. And of course, with Uttanasanas, any forward fold, the core's needed to help hold you here. So gently, Uddiyana Bandhas there. Alrighty, breathe and come into a halfway lift. From here, right hand can take a block or can stay onto the mat. And then you'll move the weight to the right foot. You just lengthen the left leg to the back of the room. So keep the pelvis nice and level here. Start to feel the activation that's required through your right leg. Good, pressing out through your left heel. And then from here, allow yourself to open up to Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. There's a bind here for anybody who'd like to take it. Grab hold of the top left ankle with your left hand. Have some support there if you'd like to. It's really important that we have somewhere to land. So I'm human like everybody else. If I lose balance, I want to know that I've got somewhere to go to. And a block will help me support this pose. Good. Lift and open up a little bit more for one more breath in. Beautiful. 2 feet to the earth. Releasing if you're in the bind. And then coming back. Shift the block off to the other side. Halfway lift once again. Padahastasana. Feet come in and the hands come into contact with each other by bending the knees. Again, knees broaden away from each other and then pop the hands in underneath the feet. So ringa-dinga under the waiwai. Palms of the hands, the soles of the feet. Use the toes again to give yourself a little massage if you'd like to. The hands, backs of the wrist, lengthen the sternum, and then fold that place. Find that place to fold into. Come back into a halfway lift again, releasing the hands, left hand onto a block or to the earth. Just make sure that it's on the outer edge of your pinky toe left side so that you can have this wonderful opportunity of opening up through the chest when we come into half moon. So move the weight to the left side, stabilizing through the core and just taking the right leg to the sky. Good. We've still got the right hand down to help stabilize, landing and understanding this transition before we move anywhere else. Good. Now from here, start to open up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. And some days our standing poses are joyous, spacious, and they give us, come find the bind if you did on the other side, they give us the availability to really be able to find ease, find that wonderful balance, find the space. And other days we just need a little bit of support. And that's all part of your yoga practice as well. Just knowing when you need to be more or less. Take another breath in. Good. 2 feet to the earth, exhaling. Just pop the block off to the side of the mat. Come into a halfway lift. Uttanasana, fold. Come on up to the sky. Palms of the hands above the crown of the head. Eagle pose. Let's go and find some space through our shoulders. Right arm under. And the left arm comes over. Elbows up and forward. Good. Just land there first. And then bend the knees. Move the weight off to the left side. And the bind can be just taking your right toes to the outside of your pinky toe left side. Or you might be able to take the full bind. Adjust the pelvis to the front of the room. And see if we can just find some space here. We'll unravel the hands. So as soon as we start to move, we challenge balance. So take your time with this. Unravel the legs and come back into aeroplane. Good. Really active pull through the back right heel. Alrighty, just stay with me if you can. And are you able to transition back into eagle pose? Good. Releasing back into aeroplane. I know. Just stay with me. I'm here with you. Press out, lift, grow, open. 2 feet to the earth, 2 hands to the heart center. Take it to the sky. Let's go to the other side. As soon as we bind the left leg, you'll find the release that you're looking for. Come on down. Move the weight to the right side and then take your bind. Adjust the pelvis, the height of the elbows, position of the forearms. Transition into aeroplane. Move slowly. There you go. Breathe. And transitioning back into eagle. Take your time. And back into aeroplane. Good, move slowly. There you are. There you go. And then lift up and grow up out of the earth. Stay for another breath in. Good. 2 feet to the earth, 2 hands to the heart center. You guys are awesome. Hands to the sky. Folding. Take hold of your right big toe with your peace fingers or your right knee to come up into a standing leg raise. So it can be the knee, or it can just be grabbing hold of your toes, your big toe. I'm a bit restricted for room here, so I'm not going to be on my knee. And from here, you're opening this out to the side room. Your left arm becomes the counterbalance. Good. So really feeling the quadricep on the left side, helping to support the strength of the standing leg, feeling the openness through the pelvic bowl. Alrighty, you've got this. And then come on back center. If you have the leg extended or leg at 90 degrees, sweep it back into aeroplane pose once again. Move slowly. Good. And just catch yourself. Moving slowly, you're able to catch yourself if you lose balance or need to just pause for a moment more. Awesome. Take a nice long deep breath in. 2 feet to the earth, exhale. Hands to the sky. Good, you're folding here. So we're staying on the right side. Come into a halfway lift and step your left foot back. Come into a deep lunge as you take the left knee to the mat. Good. Use blocks if you need to. Really feel this wonderful spaciousness landing into the pelvis. You would have felt this activity in the standing pose that we just had. So we're just encouraging a little bit more release through the front hip flexor here. 2 hands to the inside of your right foot. We're coming into twisted lunge. So bring the toes up, roll to the outside edge of your right foot. And then you may need to reposition your left hand and in fact press down through the top of your left foot to reposition your left knee. Right hand to the inside of the right knee and we revolve. Or you can just stay, put a little bit of pressure into the thigh if you want to feel a little bit more on the right side of the body. And you just saw my arm locked out here. I'm softening through that joint. Good. And then from here, you may wish to go further and take your right hand to catch the outside of your left foot. And then just moving the weight evenly between the left and right side. You're drawing the left heel into the left buttock. Keep the left hand nice and soft, elbows unlocked. Good. Just breathing here. Alrighty, release here. Walk the right foot back in line with the right hip. Tuck the left toes, press out through the left heel. Just give the hip flexor a moment to recognize the shift. Beautiful. Come on up to the sky, into a nice deep lunge. Move through your vinyasa. Stay high. Chest is lifted, and the vision is forward of the mat. Downward facing dog. Good. Up onto the toes. Bend the knees, look forward. Meet me at the front of the mat. Come back into another halfway lift. We have the other side to go. And then fold. Good. Standing leg raises. Grabbing hold of your big toe or your knee. Moving the weight to the right side of the body. And then bringing that limb up with you as you come standing. Good. Once again, I'm going to bend my knee this morning. You may wish to keep your leg extended. Let's open this out. Use the right hand as the counterweight to the left leg. And we're coming back center. Good. From here, aeroplane pose. Breathe in. Good. 2 feet to the earth. 2 hands to the heart center, to the sky. Fold here. Uttanasana, halfway lift, step the right leg back. Drop the right knee to the mat. We're coming into a lunge on the other side. So there's no surprises here. We've been here on the right side. Let's just get straight into it. 2 hands to the inside. Walk the left foot out. Good. Toes out 45 degrees and lifted. And then rolling into that side. I'm going to adjust through my right knee. Keep my right elbow nice and soft. And then I'm going to place my left hand on the inside of my left knee and find that lovely little extension here. Good. Trying to avoid dropping down into my left side, which is going to take away some wonderful opening through dropping down through my right side, which will take away the opening and the external rotation on the left. So trying to keep the balance is a bit of a struggle here. Now I'm going to take my right heel into the buttock, left hand comes round, draw the right heel in as close as is comfortable. Lengthen, release through the right side. Good. 2 hands come down. Walk the left foot back in line with the left hip. Tuck the right toes. Just press out through the right heel. Let the right side of the body catch up with where we've transitioned to. And then come on up into a lunge. 2 hands to the mat. Move through your vinyasa. Stay high. Good. Cobra or up dog. And downward facing dog as you exhale. Up onto the toes, bending your knees. Good. Float, step or jump, front of the mat to a halfway lift. And folding here once again. Come on up to the sky, reach through the fingertips. Folding here. Good. How have you gone with your vinyasas this morning? Come into a halfway lift and find plank pose once again. Right knee, right tricep, right wrist. Good. Push it up to the tricep. Hold it here for 3. And for 2. Last one. Pop that back into plank pose. Left knee, left tricep, left wrist. Back up to the tricep. Hold it here for 3. Good. For 2. Last one. Plank pose. Drop the knees to the mat. Cross the ankles, come over onto the buttocks, set up for bridge pose. A lovely way to lengthen through the abdominals. I'm going to use a block this morning, and feel free to use that as well if you would like to. I'm also going to lift the pelvis up off the block, so it's going to be almost part one of a journey through bridge this morning. So I've adjusted my shoulders and drawn them in and away from the ears. So down away from the ears and then into the midline of the body, which is broadened through the front of my chest. I can feel the lovely lengthening through the abdominals. And the plank poses when we draw the knees into the triceps certainly activate that part of divine self. And then from here, I've got my feet hip width apart with my toes just gently curling in. I'll press through the soles of the feet and now lift up off the block. Good. Let's see if you can find a place where you can stay. Once upon a time, bridge pose was incredibly strong, and I felt it in every joint. I felt it in every muscle group. It's going back quite a few years, but I still remember that. And now I come to a place where I can stay here for such a long time. The journey wasn't any more than acceptance. Taking my time to unravel the body to the pose and also the mind. Good. Awesome. So you can stay with me for another breath in, just pushing over that boundary, just peeking on the other side. And then come on down. If you've got the block there, land into the block. Stay here for a couple of breaths. We've got another two of these. Bridge or wheel. I'm going to hold this position here with those of you that would like to join me. Those of you who have wheel in their practice and they safely can land into that place. You're certainly warm enough to go there. So do that. Otherwise, stay with me here. Breathe in, come back into bridge pose. So we're rolling the pelvis up. Now starting from the soles of the feet, making sure you're connected there. Good. Moving up through the legs. Can you lift the pelvis a little higher without engaging the glute max? To see if you can soften that off. Of course, it's going to have to be on a little bit, but not the overpowering muscle. So I liken it to like the bouncers in the body. They get a little excited. They really get onto the job. So see if you can let the other muscles come on and help here. And then do you need to move your sternum away? Find more space by taking the chin back a little bit. Good. And then just find that place where you can land and hold. So when you feel that you need to come down, can you just hold for another 2 breaths this time? Let's see what's on the other side. If you've never ventured there before, there might still be ease. Of course, if you do need to come down, you should do that as well. Alrighty, for me, it's time to come down to the block once again. I'm going to stay there, still enjoying the extension through the spine. Stay for a breath or two. Bridge or wheel, you have another set to move into. When you're ready, come on up. Third set. Alrighty, for me, it's time to come down. It might also be time for you to come down as well. If you're with me, just stay. If you have the block underneath the pelvic bowl, land there comfortably. Transition down onto that support, release the shoulders. If you are on the earth, just allow yourself to draw the knees together. Good, find some space. And if you're still in bridge or wheel, you'll catch up with us as and when. We're going to come into a pose of waterfall. So from there, we will need to place a block underneath the pelvic bowl, or if you don't have anything handy, you don't need to. You can keep the pelvis on the earth. And then draw the knees into the chest. And then take the legs to the sky. And they find a natural position where they will balance without you needing to have any muscular engagement around it. It does really become quite a soft place to land. Deeply restorative, a wonderful way to mix up the circulation here. And there's another offering to this pose. If you'd like to move into plow pose, take the toes over the top of the head. If you'd like to move into shoulder stand, please go there. If it's in your practice and it's something that's calling you, then feel free to transition off to that place. And if you have a headstand in your practice, please only if it's in your practice and you are very familiar with it, it is a friend, then you may go there. If you're in a shoulder stand, it may be time now for you to come into plow. Once again, if you'd like to stay longer, you will catch up with us at some stage. So feel free to stay for as long as you would like to. We sometimes feel an obligation to follow whatever I'm inviting you to move into. But the reality is you'll get there anyway. So if this pose is calling you to stay longer, then stay. Me, however, I'm going to move you off into the next pose. Bring the knees back into the chest. Place them down onto the mat. If you have support under the pelvis, lift up, take that away. Gather the knees back in close once again. If you're coming out of shoulder stand, then you're coming down to lay down onto your back. If you're coming out of headstand, child's pose is the place for you to land. So there's been quite a bit of activity around the neck and shoulders wherever you have decided to land. And Matsuyasana is a beautiful place to take a moment or two to breathe some space back in to those parts of self. So lengthening the legs, bring the forearms to the mat, bring the elbows in together. And quite often we kind of land into Matsuyasana as if we were on a Bondi beach. So laying on a beach towel. So just see if you can lift the ribs up and feel the extension through the spine, the flaring of the ribs in the front body, and the shift onto your sit bones through the pelvis. So more onto the sit bones rather than the back of the pelvic bowl. And then from here, just allow your head to come back as far as is comfortable. If you would like to have a block underneath the spinal column from the base of your shoulder blade to the top of your shoulders, running the length of the spine, then feel free to be there. Let's just breathe some space. Good. Just allow yourself to come down onto the mat, yogis, while I reposition myself to the front of the mat. Alrighty, draw your knees into your chest and come on into Ekaparataja Kapotasana, half pigeon, right side. I've got a block to place underneath my right thigh. You can take a vinyasa if you need a little bit more excitement, or you're a little bit more energetic in your practice this morning. I've just rolled over to my right side, and if you'd like to come and join me, feel free to do that. Go land into your half pigeon. Ekaparataja Kapotasana is the Sanskrit name for it. Quite a mouthful. Eka, one, pada, foot. Eka para raja, royal. Kaputa is pigeon. Asana is pose. There you go. Demystified the whole Sanskrit language for you. Kinda. Good. How's this feeling? Good. Just another breath in here. Alrighty, come back into the hands. If you're not there already, remove the support, tuck the left toes, and either come through a vinyasa, transition into dog pose, or you can be just like me and swing the left leg forward, take the support to the left side of the body, take the right leg back. Find your place to land in half pigeon. Just noticing if you need to reposition. So quite often you'll roll into the inner knee on the right side and kind of like, it's a bit awkward, but you're looking for space through the hip flexor. So you can adjust this by just pressing down through the top of your right foot and rolling the knee inward to the midline of the body. And if you're finding this is too much of a challenge, you can also lift up a little bit more on the right side, left side, a little bit more support under there, and that will help to ease that for you. And of course, if pigeon is ever a struggle, anytime, then you can always come over onto your back, and in this instance, you take the left ankle across the front of the right knee, gather the knees in. Alrighty, just stay with me for another couple breaths. Here we go. Breath in. Good. Tuck the right toes, press back into dog pose or take a vinyasa, or be like me once again. Move the support from underneath your outer left thigh, rock over to that side, and come laying down onto your back. It's time to take a twist here, yogis. So there's a number of different twists that you may be familiar with in your own body and your own practice, and there may be one that's calling you. And I'm a big advocate of landing where the body needs to. So if there is a pose that is calling you, a twist, twisted roots, or just twisted left or right, or with legs broad, cat pulling its tail, any one of those, then please go find it. Otherwise, come on down with me. And then gather the knees into the chest. The higher the knees, the more active this rotation will be. So you'll adjust those to wherever they need to be as you take them to the right side. If you need to place a block or anything underneath your outer right knee to keep the shoulders stable onto the mat, then you need to do that. Just feel supported here. And then focus on the top left outer hip, lengthening down towards your heels. And you may even feel the side waist on the right side just lift a little here. So often when we come to lay on into a twist, the pelvis will reposition itself in a way where the left hip will start to hug up towards the left armpit. So we're trying to find as much space as we can. We lengthen that back down again. That in turn will lift the inner side waist on the right side. We're going to transition out of this back center. A couple ways we can do that. Keep the feet on the earth to take the intensity out of it. If you're just feeling a little fatigued here or the core is not quite strong enough for you to be there. Otherwise, just draw the knees into the chest and then rock back center. Place the feet into the earth, lift the pelvis up. And then roll back down to the earth, gather the knees into the chest. Or if you've taken your own choice of twist, come back, release back into neutral alignment by lifting the pelvis up. Before we go and find the other side, again, focus on the right hip this time, lengthening towards your heels, by the shoulders onto the mat, and if not, get some support underneath your outer left knee. You may feel the under left side of the sideways on the lift up off the mat. It's just letting you know that the pelvis, instead of being stacked, sometimes just shifts off center. And so we can just focus on lengthening. It'll come back up into balance. Good. One of the hardest places to land in our practice is in that place of awareness. Sometimes we need to be a little less, really understanding how the information that's being shared with us from our body is being interpreted by you. And so that's the chitta vritti narodaha. It's the stilling of the whirlpools of the mind that Patanjali talks about in the Yoga Sutras, so that we can really identify and honestly, satya, with honesty on all levels, connect to where we need to land in our practice. There's always somewhere for us to be, and your body will share that information with you very freely. Alrighty, come on back, center, feet into the earth, lift the pelvis up. Gather your knees into your chest. It's time for Shavasana. So indulge me if you will. If you have anything at all to place underneath the back of your knees, go get that. And just notice if there's a wonderful sense of softening that gives you the opportunity, once again, of truly resting into your Shavasana. This pose is the offering to you and your practice, where everything is integrated. I call it the R series, where we rest, we reset, we relax, we rejuvenate, we restore. It all happens in this pose. Just let the chitta settle, busyness. Bring the awareness and place it only on to the sound of your own breath if you're feeling a little distracted today. Find that place where you can truly surrender. Find that best place to find this rest that is offered in Shavasana pose. And yogis, you'll feel free to stay here as long as your body needs you, as long as your body needs you, your tinana, so the Wairoa, the spirit, and the tinana, the body, get them to work with the consciousness, the hinengaro, and allow yourself to rest as long as you need to here. As always, it's been my pleasure to be with you and your whare this morning. Take care, and whatever Tuesday offers you, embrace it. Be awesome in the world. Namaste. Richard.